What's up, Fight Bananas? It is the TST Elias here, back again with another banger. And today we're talking the sweet science because who I have is arguably the brightest prospect coming out of the Southeast, man. And he has a fight on March 7th at Island Fights 87. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Devin Cushing. Devin, how are you today, man?
What up, man? How you doing? Of
Hey, can't complain, can't complain. First and foremost, man, thank you for taking the time out to talk to me today.
course, man.
Hey,
Always,
so
always.
let's get straight into it, man. You're 5 months out after your last fight. Now you're fighting on Island Fights 87, which is shaping up to be a huge card, man. But the top of that name is Cushing, man. Talk to me how you feel about fighting next.
Man, I'm excited. March 7th in Biloxi at the Hard Rock Casino. I'm excited, man. I've been working real hard for the past few months, and yeah, man, I'm ready to fight. I wish it was tomorrow.
Oh, for sure, man. I'm ready to see it. But you talked about, man, the Hard Rock Casino in Biloxi, man. The first time in over 20 years a boxing fight has happened in that venue, man. Talk to me about, fighting in such a prestigious venue where HBO boxing fight nights used to be there like up and running regularly. I mean, talk to me about fighting at the Hard Rock.
It's a blessing, man. Very grateful. Shout out to Dean Toole and my father, and the whole Island Fights team, Ryan Toole, Ian, all them, and yeah, man, I'm excited. It's big. You know what I mean? A lot of big names have fought out that way, and I'm just looking to put on a good performance out there. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. Like I said, training camp's been going good, and yeah, man, I'm excited. There's a lot of talent on the card, and there's also MMA on the card also, so as well. So there's a lot of local talent on the card, and I'm excited, man. It's gonna be an exciting night of fights.
Yeah, it's gonna be a banger for sure, man. And your opponent, you have a pretty gamed opponent you're facing, Elio Mosquito, man, a guy who's fought a lot of top names, including the current WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson. Talk to me about this matchup.
This guy, he's real seasoned. He's seasoned. He's experienced. He's got a lot of fights. If I'm not mistaken, he's got like 30, 40 fights. And like you said, he's been in there with some real experienced guys, with champions and stuff. So I'm excited and then looking forward to see what he brings to the table, man. I think he's gonna pull the he's gonna pull the good out of me, man. You know what I mean? He's gonna make me look good, and he's gonna make me work, and we're gonna get the job done, man. I'm excited.
Absolutely. And you talk about, putting the best out of you. It seems like you've been leveling up in competition since you came back in 2022. Your last fight was against Emiliano Garcia, another guy who's fought some top contenders. I know I interviewed right after the fight to get your initial thoughts, but 5 months later, what was the biggest lesson you took from that fight?
Man, to be honest with you, every fight's a learning experience, whether you win or lose. You know what I mean? And you can always take something in and learn something. And that night, I learned I learned a few things. I went back and watched the fight, and I seen a few things that I need to work on. And that's what we're doing for this fight. To minimize the mistakes.
For sure, man. And last year, you're fighting in the first quarter of 2025. Last year, you fought twice, including, fighting on arguably the biggest platform you fought on in the undercard, in the main card of, Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz in the boxing fight, man. When you reflect on 2024, what do you think about it?
Oh man, it was a good year. I would have liked to have been just a little bit more active, maybe got another fight or two in, but it was a real active year. We were on a big card, like you said, in July in Anaheim, California. That card was huge, man, and it was a lot of fun. And then we fought October 25th, the end of 2024, and yeah, man, we're looking for a busier year this year. I'm 15 and 0. I'm looking to be 19, 20 and 0 by the end of the year. I'm trying to get at least yeah, I'm trying to get at least 4 or 5 fights in. We're trying to get real busy and just get active, man. Just get on the keep leveling up the competition as our fights go and keep moving up those ranks, man.
I love it, man. I love it. And we've talked about it before. We talked about the goal, world rankings, right? That's what we
Yep.
talked about, world rankings, climbing up the ranks. Right now you're currently in like the 130s right now. What do you think is going to take to break into the top 100?
Just the right opponents in front of me. You know what I mean? Just the right opponents in front of me, and the right opportunities, and it'll all present itself.
For sure.
I think yeah, I don't think it'll be too hard, man, at all.
Yeah, for sure. You fight in a division, the lightweight division where it's a stacked division at the top. A lot of money makers too, man. How do you think, 2, 3 years time, how do you think you're fitting in there?
Yeah, man, I think I belong, man. Like you said, there's a lot of big names: Lomachenko, Keyshawn Davis, Javante Davis, Shakur Stevenson, man. You got a lot of fighters at that weight, man. 135, 140, 135 to 140 is very, very hot. You got Teofimo Lopez, George Gambosis, Richardson Hitchens. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So there's a lot of money to be made in that division, in those divisions, and it's a lot of talent. Um, I think time will tell, man, and time will tell that I belong with all those guys. I belong fighting with all those guys, and I belong in the mix.
Hey man, you just named a lot of freaking bangers right there. A lot of fighters, a lot of bangers, man. And who knows? Matching up with them, it could be an exciting matchup with any of those guys, man. You know, one thing I love about your game, man. Especially towards the later rounds, is you never neglect the body, even when it gets real gritty, real dirty, and you got to push through the gas tank. You're always digging into the rib cage, digging into the liver, man. Your body work is some of the most phenomenal I've seen, man.
Thank you, man.
Kind of what's the strategy in terms of, when things get tough? Why do you constantly go to the body?
Well, I'll try to go to the body from start to finish. You know what I mean? Always try to work my levels real good. I don't just try to headhunt because I know, obviously your opponent's looking, they're trying to protect their head. You know what I mean? So I try to work my levels up and down real well, and yeah, man, it works out good. Um, Sometimes you get a sneaky one in there.
Yeah, man. I mean, ask Emiliano Garcia. You got a sneaky one in there, and that fight was finished, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
I caught him off guard, man. He wasn't set and ready for it. So those body shots, man, they're gruesome, man. They freeze you. They freeze you. They freeze you.
100%, 100%, and it's also like that delayed reaction. It's
It
like,
is
man,
a
you're
delay. Yes. Yes.
frozen.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it, man. I got shot down once with a body shot. I was like, bro, never again. I didn't
Never
even
again.
keep that guard
They're
up.
the they're the worst. I'd much rather, I've never been knocked out or nothing cold or anything, but I I I would imagine I'd probably rather be knocked out cold instead of laying on the floor, um, suffering from a body shot. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do is suffer.
Yeah. It's just because it's like you can't you
Can't
really
do
can't
nothing
do
about it.
anything.
You really can't do
Yeah,
nothing about it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like even the toughest people, you hit them in the liver once. I mean,
Yep.
it'll be rare that you get up before 10. So I get it, man. So listen, bro. You're fighting in Biloxi on March 7th, but you're from Pensacola, Florida. A lot of big names coming out of that city. Obviously, Roy Jones Jr., Vince
Mhm,
Phillips came from there.
mhm.
Hallman Williams, who was part of the Murderers Row, man. How's it feel to represent the
Shout out
city?
Smoke Gainer, man. Can't forget Smoke, man. Ezra Sellers, rest in peace, Ezra Sellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And shout out Smoke Gainer, man. Those were some bad boys back in their day. You know what I mean? And
100%.
they've paved the way. You know what I mean? They paved the way.
Yeah, and how's it feel to represent your city, man, especially with that illustrious, lineage?
Yeah, man. I'm grateful, man. A lot of, it's like they say, man, it's something down here in the water in Pensacola. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. You know what I mean? There's some athletes, man. Whatever sport you bring up, you know what I mean? We got them down here. So I'm grateful, man, to be born and raised here. I love my city with all my heart, man. That's what I do it for. You know what I mean? It's for my people. So yeah.
Yeah, man. You mentioned earlier, Dean Toole, man, a guy that has been very influential in both of our careers.
Mhm.
He's told me before he's got a very impressive roster that they're building up. and you're at the top of that list, man. What's it like, fighting for Dean Toole, and how important has it been to the development of your career?
Dean's family, man. He's always been family. Dean's been around since I was, in diapers, man. He's such a selfless man. You know what I mean? He does a lot for not just me, but for the fight community. You know, he does so much, man. He's a hard worker. He works hard every day, and he puts people in positions, man, to better their lives. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. He loves to do it. He's been doing it for a long time. He knows what he's doing, man. And shout out Dean. Shout out the whole Island Fights team. And I know Dean's got some big things in the works. And we have talked about me and Dean have talked about some big names on the phone, and he does have a roster coming. That's pretty badass, man. Pretty badass.
I love it, man. I love it. And another person I want to shout out is the OG man. Shout out Woodrow Wilson, man, because that Woodrow Cushing, bro, he is the man. Your pops, he's a well-known guy in Pensacola. When I went up for Island Fights 86, everybody knew him, man. But the first thing I
Yeah.
know about is your corner man, man.
Well,
How important has he been to, just your boxing journey? What's it like to have your dad, just be a part of this journey?
man, it's I'm so grateful, you know what I mean, every day for him because I know sometimes I think that, a lot of people don't have that, you know what I'm saying? And I try to cherish it. Sometimes, we take things for granted, but I try to cherish every moment that I can. He's been with me since I was, ever ever since I come out my mama, you know what I mean? And he's been there every step of the way, man. He's such a hard working and he's so he motivates me so much, man. My dad has worked so hard to put us where we are, you know what I mean? He sacrificed so much for our family to put us in the positions we are, you know what I mean, to be able to do what I'm doing, and yeah, man, everybody respects my dad, man. He's he's a solid cat, man. He's a solid cat.
For sure, man. And going from the pops to the little bro, man, because you're fighting on Island Fights 87.
Yep.
Dylan, man, he headlined Island Fights 86, a main event, which I mean ended in a lot of chaos. We'll talk about that later, but how's it feel, seeing his development as a boxer, man? Your pops has, labeled him as the future, but how's
Hmm.
it feel to, see his development as a boxer, kind of rising up the amateur ranks, headlining, a big amateur card in Island Fight 86. How's it feel to watch his development?
Yeah, man, it's exciting. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes when he fights, I'm more pumped up than him. You know what I mean? But yeah, Dylan is the future, man. He's got a lot. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He just stay focused and stay working hard. You know what I mean? He's coming right behind Big Bro, so getting ready to take this thing over, man. I know Pops is looking to turn him. You know, soon, soon. Maybe a few more fights, and he's gonna turn. So looking forward to that, man, and um, we're ready. We're excited for a big year, man. It's 2025. We're excited, man. Dill, like you said, Dill a few weeks ago, started the year off good for us, and I'm looking to follow up, man, on March 7th in Biloxi. So,
Hey man, that last name Cushing is about to be heard all over, all over the
sir.
US in a little bit, man. And you talk about it, sometimes you get more pumped than him, during his fights. I mean, we kind of saw that, out of fight 86, bro, the post-fight melee, coming down from it now, reflect on it now, what was kind of going through your head when that situation happened?
Just emotions. Everybody emotional, just emotions running and high. You know what I mean? So it's understandable, man. It's the fight game. You know what I mean? Things get heated, words get said, tossed back and forth, and things get heated, and shit happens, man. Everything's good, and we just keep it moving.
Absolutely, man. And what I love most is how Dylan handled the situation, bro. After the post fight, he was pretty calm, trying to keep the peace and stuff. Didn't wish no ill will on his opponent, even though there was a lot of beef going back and forth pre-fight. Handled it like a real professional. So, like, you know, I think, when all said and done, I think he handled that pretty well. So
Yep.
I think overall it's still a great event. And honestly, more views. No
Yeah,
offense.
man. It was good. It was good. it was a good experience for Dylan, you know what I mean? And just like I said earlier, man, whether you win or lose in a fight, you can always learn something, you know what I mean? You just sit back and you observe, you know what I mean? Yeah, and slow down and just observe everything, and you can soak in and learn something, you know. So that's
100%,
what
bro.
it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
100%. And I mentioned this earlier, man. Have been taken it to the next level since coming back to the sport of boxing. There was about like a 4 year gap, where you were
Five.
taking 5 year gap when you were
Yeah.
taking a break, man. What was the biggest lesson you thought about when you decided to come back and you came back, leveling up in competition and trying to grow?
Well, I always stayed. I stayed in the gym those 5 years. You know, not hard, but I stayed pretty well in the gym, and I always thought about coming back and wanting to fight. 5 years is a long time away from the fight game, man. Because one thing about the fight game, it don't stop. It just keeps going. You know, whether you're fighting or not. You know, whoever's fight. You know, it don't matter. You know, it keeps rolling. So there was times, that I was anxious and ready to come back, but um I knew God would, make it the right time. You know what I mean? And it all happened for a reason, man. I think that layoff, conserved my body, some. I had a kid as well. I had my daughter as well. Um, I think I had a lot. I think I had a lot to do maturing mentally and physically. You know what I mean, a little bit. And I feel like that's what that 5 year time frame gave me some time to do. And yeah, man, I'm grateful for that time off. I'm grateful for that time off. I don't look at it as I try not to look at it as, you know, something bad. You know what I mean? Try to make everything good. You know what I mean? Turn a negative into a positive, man.
Absolutely, man. I think also it give you a sense of clarity. You knew that this is the path you wanted to go on, and you're gonna go gung ho all in on this,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, man. Even when I was off for those 5 years, man, I never lost my vision. I love this game so much, man. I've been doing it all my life. It's really all I know. I don't know nothing else. I don't know how to do anything else but fight. So yeah, man, those 5 years, man, I never lost my vision. I never lost that itch of wanting to do it. You know what I mean? And knowing where I wanted to go. You know what I mean? I always knew that I would be back in this spot. You know what I mean? I would just sometimes it's not your time, man. You just gotta wait. You gotta be patient.
Absolutely. There's a time and place for everything. And listen,
Patience is a virtue, man. So
hey, exactly, bro. Hey, and you said boxing is all you know, which is partially true, but bro, I know you be breeding some exotic bullies, bro. First off, that is
Mhm.
bank. That is real money
Mhm.
right there. I'll tell you that right now. How'd you
It
really
it
get into
it it cost it cost a lot of money to do too, though. You know what I mean? So you make some good money from it, but you also forking some money out to do it also as well. So it's a fun hobby, man. I enjoy it. I love chilling with my dogs, man. They're right here. Here's Bubbles.
Yo, what up, Bubbles? How'd you get into that?
Oh man, just I bought my dog. She's about 5 years old. I bought my first dog. I bought my first Frenchie about 5 6 years ago, and I really wasn't thinking about breeding her. I knew this guy that bred them, and I was interested. You know what I mean? And I bought her, and I ended up breeding her twice, and everything went well for me. So I bought a few more, and just a hobby I do, man. If I'm not working out, man, I'm just at the house chilling with my dogs. That's just what I do. I hang out with my dogs. I go out to eat sometimes here and there, and I stay in the gym, man. That's all I do. We hang out, and they take care. They take care. I take care of them, and they take care of me. You know what I mean? And so it's vice versa. I love them. They're very loyal. You know what I mean? And very loyal and compassionate, and yeah, man, just it's just something I love. I've always wanted to do it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I had a bully. My mom and dad had my first bully that I got, and he died a few years back. And he was really the main reason why, like, I wanted to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted to breed him, but he was too old. You know what I mean? And I just ended up getting into it, man. And it's been a hobby that I've been doing for the past probably maybe 5 years. And it's fun, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. Um, but again, it's just like the fight game. It's patience also. You got to
Yeah.
have patience, you know. And again, patience is a virtue, man. It's something you got to learn, you know. So yeah, man. It's something I love to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you talk about dogs being loyal. I got two of my own. I got a
Yeah,
husky and a lab, man. I got two big dogs. But they're my ride or dies. Those are
I
like a
love them,
son.
man. I love them, man. I love
Hey,
them.
man, I get it, man. But listen,
They're like
Devin.
they're like my kids. They're like my family members,
Oh,
man.
100%. Those are my kids. I don't even call my dogs.
Yeah,
They're my boys
yeah.
right there.
They live in the house and all. So
Listen, Devin, before we go, man, I want to play a couple games with you, kind of get your boxing knowledge going, kind of getting your boxing opinions going. So the first game we're gonna play, bro, we're gonna blind rank some boxers, man. We're gonna blind rank some boxers. We're gonna blind rank 5 boxers, 1 to 5. You're not gonna know who's comes next.
all right,
And what better division to go for than your division, the lightweight division, bro?
135. All right.
So let's start with the first name, man. He is fighting this Saturday in Saudi Arabia, man. WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson.
Rating 1 through 5.
Yes, and this is and just disclaimer: this is all current lightweights.
Yeah, yeah. And five being the highest rating, right?
One being the highest.
One being the highest. Okay, okay, okay. So I'm ranking them 1 through 5.
Yes.
Okay. Starting off with Shakur, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go number 3.
All right, all right. And what do you think about his? He has a lot to prove in his next bout, but what have you thought about his last few performances? Because the perception of him has been really bad because of maybe his
The Edwin, the Ed,
inactivity.
the Edwin Dos Santos fight or whatever that
Yeah.
fight was. Yeah, whatever that guy's name was. Yeah, man. I just think he had a bad performance that night, to be honest. And people's just giving him a hard time about it. I know he had that hand injury. I don't know how the hand will hold up this Saturday. I know it was ligament tears in his hand, so that's not good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's really bad, honestly. And I'm looking forward to seeing him fight Floyd Schofield this Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see that fight. Floyd's gonna be strong, man. He's gonna be strong. But Shakur, he can box, man, and I just don't think he has no pop for 135 pounds, to be honest with you, man. I think he has some good pop for maybe 126, 130, but I just don't think he has no serious pop for 135 pounds.
Yeah, I always bring it back. His best performance to me when he fought Jamel Herring and he was piecing him up. There was a lot
Yeah.
of pop there.
The Oscar Valdez performance was good too.
That was good too.
It's
That
good
was
too.
really good.
He made
And
he made Oscar Valdez look simple. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Made him look easy. You know.
yeah, for sure. You mentioned Floyd Schofield, and that's who we're going with next because the next person to rank is Kid Austin.
hmm I'm gonna go. I put Shakur at 3. I'll put Floyd Schofield at 4. I'll put him right
Okay,
behind Shakur.
okay. I think he's a great prospect. This will be his.
Very
This is
possible.
this
Yeah,
this
he's
is going
good.
to be.
He's a good
A,
prospect. He
I
is.
think it's going to be a real. I mean, this is the real test. This is to see if he's the real deal.
Yep.
I think. I think
This is his
honestly,
op. This is his opportunity for sure.
100%. I think even if he doesn't win, if he puts on a good performance, I
Yeah, he's
mean,
got
his stock
himself in the.
is
He's got himself in the mix
of
for sure.
100%. Because
For
like you
sure.
look at it, like look at even David Morrell,
It's
like
not a. It's not a. That kid has nothing to lose. He's got
yeah,
everything. He's got everything to gain.
yeah, like
So
just look at David Morrell. He lost to David Benavidez, but that fight was so good,
yep,
so
yep.
neck and
He'll
neck
get he'll
that
get he'll get a few more big fights off that. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So
So
that's
like
what's up,
yeah,
man.
100%. I agree with you there. So Floyd at 4. Let's go to the next one. We got the moneymaker here, Mr. Gervonta Tank
Javante
Davis.
Davis. I'm gonna go number 1. I think that's the man. That's the man to beat. To be honest, they all know it. That's the man to beat. So I'm gonna take him number 1. I got Keyshawn number. Or I got him on number 1. I got Shakur number 3, and Floyd Schofield number 4.
Yeah. All right, the next guy we got, man. Honestly, a very triumphant victory over the weekend. We're talking about Mr. Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him.
That one's tough.
I'm gonna put him at number 4 behind Shakur Stevenson, and then I'm gonna put Floyd Schofield at number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
you got 3, 4, and 5.
All right. That leaves two left. That leaves
Yeah,
two left.
number 2 left. Yep.
Yeah. So the last box I got, Andy Cruz, Olympic gold medalist, undefeated prospect. That's the last boxer.
He's nice, man. Kid can fight.
Yeah, he's
He can
he's real
fight.
nice.
Um, I don't know how his pro style is gonna hold up. He's a nice size for 135 pounds. The kid can fight.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him at I'll go Javante Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Andy Cruz, Floyd Schofield. That's my 5.
Not a bad ranking.
Ranked 1 through 5.
Yeah, not a bad ranking at all. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I think that, I mean, Floyd and Andy could be interchangeable depending on opinions, but other
Yep,
than that,
yep, yep.
I think that's a pretty
But you got to
good rank.
realize Andy Cruz is a gold medalist.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
So
I think that's what puts him above Floyd for me is just
yep,
that pedigree right there, and he beat
yep,
Keyshawn,
yep.
so that was the biggest thing.
Multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. But
So,
all right, so we did the blind ranking, right? We did blind ranking boxers. So now we're gonna play another game, man. We're calling this Contender or Pretender.
all
So I'm
right,
gonna give you 5 boxers. None of them are world champions yet. I'll put that in disclaimer. 5 boxers who are not world champions, and you let me know if they're contenders or pretenders.
all right.
First guy we're gonna do, Mr. Edgar Berlanga.
He's a contender. He's a contender. He can fight, man. And I give him the utmost respect for taking Canelo Alvarez 12 rounds. He's young, man. People don't realize how young he is. He's still got a lot of developing to do. So, contender.
I was really impressed with him because I low key thought he was gonna get starched by Canelo, but
Yeah, me too. Me too.
he was mentally in that fight
He was
for like
focused. He was
he was
very
focused,
focused.
and
Yes,
that's
he
what I
was.
liked about him. Even with
Yep,
that knockdown, he was just laser
for
beaming.
sure, for sure.
So yeah, he definitely like you said, he definitely gained my respect too.
Yeah, man.
All right, next fighter, former champion now. We got Devin the Dream Haney.
He's a contender. He's a
Yeah,
contender. He can fight, man. I respect what him and his father have built. You know what I mean? It's not easy. It's not easy at all. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You know what I mean? So it's not easy, and I respect what him and his father have built. And Devin, he'll be all right, man. He'll be good. He still got some money to make, and he'll be good. He'll be good.
yeah. It just, I think it was unfortunate the aftermath of the Ryan Garcia stuff. I think
Yeah,
that was
man.
the
Yeah.
biggest thing. But I mean, I feel like once that blows over, once this next fight,
Everybody can talk all they want, though. You know what I mean? Until they put themselves in those shoes. You know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%,
Everybody can type on the internet all they want until they're in that situation. Until somebody's doping against them. You know what I
100%.
mean? And then so. But nah, Devin Haney, man, contender for sure.
All
Hell of
right,
a fighter. Hell of a fighter.
all right, all right,
Gotta
all right,
respect it.
for sure. I mean, former undisputed champion can't
Yep.
be has to be a contender. Next boxer we got been in a bit of controversy, not lately, but he was in a bit of a bit of controversy past few years. Talking about Mr. Conor Benn.
I like Connor. I like Connor. I don't like how he dopes, though. I don't like how he doped. I like Connor. I think he's gonna beat Chris Eubank Jr. Um, Contender, man, contender. Yeah, for sure. He's a fighter, man. He's a
It's
fighter.
just it's just some.
He comes from a fighting family, also.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean the destroyer, man. That's
yep,
Nigel Benn, but
yep,
it's just unfortunate that whole situation cost him years of his career
yeah,
that could have been putting him in title contention
yep.
in the welterweight division when it was like real star studded. So that's just unfortunate, man.
Definitely slowed him up.
100%. Speaking of Chris Eubank Jr., next guy we got Mr. Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, man, contender again, a contender again. He's had the belt before. Chris has been in some tough fights, man.
It's just
Chris has got a tough resume, man.
yeah,
He's had some tough fights. He's fought in what didn't he fight in that World Super Series
he did.
tournament? He's fought a lot of good fighters, man. He's fought a lot of good fighters.
It's just frustrating that like you look at his resume, a lot of like household names, whether it's in the States or in England, man. He has a lot
Mhm.
of household names, but it seems like he's never gotten the break for that world title fight. Like he's had the IBO, but like a real world title fight, it seems like he hasn't had that break yet. Hopefully,
Yeah,
I mean, soon before he gets out of his
I
prime.
think I think he's worried about the Canelo fight too much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, all them guys get to sitting around waiting for that. You know, instead of trying to, fight and make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, look at Demetrius Andre. He tried to wait that long time when
Yep.
he was at middleweight to
Yep.
get the Canelo fight. Wasted like a few great years of his career. You know, could have
Exactly.
been fighting Charlo or somebody like that.
Why not stay active and keep your name relevant? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that Eubank and Ben fight. I think there's a lot more hype around it now with all the history from the
yep,
first
yep,
fight, the drug
yep.
fight.
From their
The
dads fighting and stuff. So
Mhm. And then the drug debacle, that
yep.
is gonna I think it's gonna be a pretty big fight. Um, Last but not least, we gotta end it on a high note, man. We got the man Devin Cushing,
Definitely a contender, man. Definitely. And we
100%.
just gonna keep yeah, man, we just gonna keep knocking them down and proving them wrong, you know what I mean? Um they'll get on board. So
Well, that was Contender or Pretender. I think that was a pretty good game. I think both games were pretty good. I think you had some great answers. But Devin, bro, before we go, man, I'm gonna give you the floor, address the fans. What can fans expect on March 7th at Island Fights 87 in Biloxi, Mississippi?
they can expect fireworks, man. They can expect a hell of a show from top to bottom. From top to bottom, as soon as the card starts until it finishes, it'll be fireworks, man. So come out, enjoy yourself. Hard Rock Casino and Hotel in Biloxi, Mississippi, March 7th, Friday night. Um, yeah, man, it's going down. It's gonna be a hell of a night.
Devin Cushing, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me today, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you as always, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Of course, man. You had a great 2024. You're starting off hot in the first quarter of 2025, and I'm looking forward to March 7th.
Yes, sir.